There. The next speaker, Laura Shi, is now the Director of Strategic Initiatives at Consensus. That is one of the arguably biggest blockchain studio in the world. Now Laura will share with us about her own experience in both centralized and decentralized world. So please welcome Laura Shi.
Test. Good morning, everyone. Let me try this first. Okay, great. So, good morning, and it's great to have this opportunity to present Consensus product suite and at the same time introduce how we spend our majority time on decentralization and permissionless. My name is Laura. I'm working on the Asia strategy for Consensus, and this is a snapshot of our product suite. So you may or may not heard about Consensus, but I'm pretty sure you know at least some of the products today we list out. You may know us as MetaMask, which today has more than 30 million MAU. A few months ago, when it turns into 6 years old. You may know us as Truffle when you start to code your first smart contract, or Ganache when you want to have a local environment to test your smart contract. And you may know us as Consensus Diligence a few weeks ago because we are the top tier audit service provider in this field. So we are trying to bring this service offering on-chain by issuing the turn token. And I think most of you know us as Infura, which Infura as the largest RPC endpoint service provider. Today we have over 400,000 developers using it for their own projects. And last but not least, we have Taco Consensus Client. You may know this name in the past few weeks. Every time when you saw a news talking about Ethereum client's readiness for the merge. So, okay. So why we need to pay attention to tools and infrastructure in this field? Building an application on-chain is always a very difficult and complicated journey because on the one hand, the architecture that you are going to build for your application is something different than the Web 2 way. And no mentioning about the, we are always lacking of tools and infrastructure because this industry developed too fast. And also every core developer in this industry trying to make developed in a decentralized way. However, if you look about this in a top-down model, we see that everyone is talking about we need, or we're expecting at least, more and more financial and non-financial related use case come into this industry, especially after the merge. So we see blockchain technology will ultimately be the compulsory part of the future complex software. Therefore, what the developer community is building today, most of them will consider it as a blockchain infrastructure in the Web3 era. And I believe that's the most beautiful part today, how developers see the opportunity in this field. So, and that's why we are continue to develop our product to all the builders now coming into Web3. So today, especially given we are all celebrating the merge, I want to highlight two products and introduce how our product team has been spending the majority of their time on decentralization permissionless. One is Infura, the other is MetaMask. So first about Infura. So here I list out all the use case, or most of the use case today we see for blockchain ecosystem. We start from developer tools and service, and I have to say that self-custodial wallet like MetaMask should always fit into this category. And then we have custodial wallet, we have centralized exchange, decentralized financial products, protocols. We have analytical tools which turning more and more popular, I think, since 2021. And most recently, we got this big ecosystem for Web3 games. But on the other hand, if you try to think about what is the standardized architecture about how this product and service works, most of the time, if it's a decentralized application, it starts from a smart contract coding a payment. But even if it's a centralized solution, you always need a front-end web page for Web3 connection, even for your reading function. And then you need your end user to use the Web3 wallet like MetaMask to interact with your smart contracts through JSON RPC endpoint API so that you can interact either with the data on-chain or your smart contract on-chain. And usually this API or this endpoint is powered by Infura for most of the names today we see in this industry. So it's not, and sometimes I have to say that it's not only about the apps. It could be a higher API for your video game. It could be an NFT marketplace. So Infura today, as the largest or was most used infrastructure in blockchain, supports tens of billions requests on-chain per day, with the best expectation on scalability and flexibility. Infura as a product was launched in 2016, and in 6 years, we grow from with our developer community from zero, and zero means MetaMask, to 400,000 users as developer, and we're still counting. So you all know these names now on the screen. So they are our existing user, but there are thousands more today using Infura to build their projects, and you will know their name in the future. So, So what are they using Infura for? Say, wallets, especially self-custodial wallet like MetaMask, they use Infura for example, it could be as simple as read your balance or making transaction processing happen. Developers use it to start their new blockchain projects for free with 100,000 requests per day. And for emerging networks and protocols, we work with them and support their ecosystem expansion through deploying their full node and offer a scalable endpoint. Well, for a centralized solution, for example, centralized exchange, enterprises, neobanks, financial institutions today, they use Infura for gas management optimization work, and also even they decide to run a full node themselves and maintain it day by day, they still need a backup option, and for that one, Infura can power it. So Infura is famous for its reliability and scalability, especially when you have airdrops or mint events. The API suite provides instant HTTPS and WebSocket access to major EVM and distributed storage network. And they're all powered by our fast customer support. Here is a screenshot of the Infura dashboard. It's not only for API usage, but it's also provide you a better understanding about how people use your application. And then that will be the very starting point for you to do the analytical work of your business. This is our pipeline roadmap. I think we keep this started early of this year, but I will call a few of these, but then bring the conversation to one of the most excited part of today's speech, the decentralized infrastructure network, which is there, the red one, laying Q3. What we have in the past few months, including in June, we announced that all the access of archive data is now for free. And this is huge because now you can start immediately building your application which involves or requires data from historical blogs without paying anyone. And another feature that has been requested for a long time is account sharing. And this is especially valuable for teamwork or for an enterprise business, because now you can share one Infura account with multiple logins and share the access with your team so that you can do better collaboration. Another thing we did in June is that we announced we are joining the world-class group of Chainlink node operator, which is actually similar to our role in MakerDAO as Oracle node operator. And in Q3, there are a lot of things, exciting things happening. So we announced that Infura now supports Starknet. We also support Avalanche C-Chain. And we also celebrate the big milestone, which is the historical moment of Ethereum merge. And just a week ago, we were excited to announce the Infura's plan to launch a new decentralized infrastructure network. It will exist alongside of our existing offering. Okay, so what is this new infrastructure we are talking about? Infura's infrastructure, backend for Web3, has been battle tested with years of experience managing high throughput requests for thousands of customers and for multiple networks when we added one after another. But as a single service provider, it will never be as powerful as decentralized network of operators, which will perform as an infrastructure layer in a decentralized way to serving all the ecosystem on top of it. And that is why we want to be part of launching this new decentralized infrastructure network to strengthen the foundation of Web3 with our expertise and collaborative spirit. The journey of this decentralization is not a destination as what highlighted by the founder of Infura, but it's a gradual realization, punctuation by progressive, significant milestone in our vision. We hope this decentralized infrastructure layer can be achieved the following goals. It needs to be publicly verifiable, be open source, be a standard bearer. And this new decentralized infrastructure network will strengthen the foundation of Web3, ensuring that billions of users now can access the information and service they need without worrying about scalability. It will accomplish the goal by truly permissionless infrastructure while encourage the broader adoption needed for a more inclusive, friction-free Web3 experience. So if you would like to be part of this history as a node operator in making a decentralized future for this infrastructure layer, please scan this QR code and join our early access program to be the test operator for our test network now. I will leave this screen for a few seconds before I move into the second part of the speech, which is about MetaMask and how we deliver a decentralized or permissionless framework for MetaMask. Okay, the product in a decentralized and permissionless way for MetaMask is named as MetaMask Snaps. So what is Snaps? Snaps is a trustless and secured environment that's going to be run inside MetaMask. So it's kind of a further decentralization of this decentralized web, because you only need, in order to allow the snap happening within MetaMask, you only need permission from your user to grant the snap access. You don't need permission from consensus or from MetaMask team to make it happen. These snaps can have their own API using the existing method we provided by MetaMask team. We have a link here, which is a great guide for getting started with snaps. Okay. So we already have a lot of teams from different communities in blockchain ecosystem working on snaps for the better user experience of their end users. There are some examples, including non-EVM chain coverage, Like the BTC community introduced BTC Snap. We got Filecoin Snap as well. You can see better experience for layer 2 connection. For example, you can think about like Starknet Snap. We can better on-chain security. For example, we got a great security talent now working on MPC solution on MetaMask. And also, as a DApp operator and business, you can improve your user experience through introducing a Snap to your website. Oops. So why Snaps is so important for your Web3 projects? Snap can empower developers to implement features that's currently not available yet in MetaMask. And I have to say that this is the best way to cover all the use case ultimately happens within the EVM ecosystem or the blockchain ecosystem and without our permission. It will increase the visibility of your project. And most importantly, this will be the gateway for reaching over 300 million MetaMask users. Snap at minimum is just a NPM package. It can be built within JavaScript, TypeScript, WebAssembly. It contains a set of metadata and everything get bundled into a single JS file. Well, we also provide a bundle for. You can easily get started and learn more about how all this is done by visiting the Snap development guides, which we include at the end of the slides. And this is a Filecoin Snap, and we have a demos as well. And we also have a demo for BTC Snap. You can find it online. We got also some other awesome snaps, including like password management, P2P chat, like pushing notification on MetaMask and so on and so on. Before we go to the link of the sort, I need to bring this one to you as well. Because in order to provide better development experience to developers who is building a Snap, you need an environment. So that's why we also introduced MetaMask Flask, which is a canary distribution of MetaMask extension. And that's why we have this special purple mask version for MetaMask logo in order to distinguish it. And I need to highlight, you can't have two MetaMask extension on your Chrome end. In order to have this one functional, you have to remove the original MetaMask extension, the pink one, sorry, the purple one. So all development Flask currently happens behind the build flag on our development branch, meaning MetaMask Flask is an experimental proving ground for what is most cutting edge and innovative features. It's giving us the ability to one day introducing or incorporate all these lessons into the main MetaMask distribution. And if you go to metamask.io/Flask, that's where you can start learning about Flask with a link to download and start to build your own snaps. Yeah, this is a link I'm talking about. So there's a lot of things we need to work away and grab your mind around. And all the resources you need to start with snaps using Flask, you can find it through the QR code or through the link. It's included guidelines, tutorials, articles, and we'll continue to bring more samples and articles to it, which all come from the community. We really think snaps is going to be the most important thing we build, especially we could contribute to this decentralized ecosystem. And we all recommend the developers who want to introduce your own features to MetaMask to start build their own snaps. That's all for today. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Laura Shi, for your sharing. Thank you so much.